was going to do a video, just a video of this, but on my camera and update it later, but I don't have anything. My battery's low. I got a Prometheus lighter here. The gentleman sent me, just got in the mail today. I don't even remember what's wrong with this. Is actually a torch lighter. Looks brand new. Like it's getting spark. We got not a bad looking lighter. It's like new. I'm gonna kind of put it on here so I don't get any scratches on it. No, got a leak. Right off the bat, we got a leak. Okay, well, let's remove that screw, or see what we got here. Yeah. I know that cap should just pull off of there. This should just pull off. Let me see if I can't pull off of this. Then it come off. And it went on my floor. I'm gonna try to dig it up here real quick. I don't want to lose it. Give me a second here, guys. I don't have my flashlight, so I'll look for that later. Let's just see it right over here. It's right here. I heard it bounce around. It's either on the floor or on my desk over here. Could be on my desk. Either way. Well, I only had $1 for every time I had to get on the floor to look for something. I'll tell you what. I hope I can help this person out. I hope so. Hopefully it's just a leaky seal there. That would be nice. Just a leaky seal. It looks brand new. I don't think it's had. I think what happened, what we got here, because there's no residue buildup, so this lighter's new. We just gotta, hopefully we just got couple bad O-rings right there. They just look kind of bad for me just right at the moment. Okay, let me get my, I'm gonna try, see if I can get underneath this. And I'm not trying to save the O-rings. Right here, I'm just trying to see how hard they are. And I can tell right now that they are hard. They're hard. So we'll cut them off. And I can't see the front of my camera, guys, so this is the first thing I'm just going to do. I'm just going to check this. I'm not going to mess with the rest of the lighter. I'm going to check this and replace these and go from there. I don't want to get down in there and take a chance of trying to get that out and crack that tank. If we don't get any leaks just by fixing this, then just putting a couple O-rings on here, then try not to charge much, if anything, for my services on this one. 3.46, so I'm guessing 3.5. 27.8, let's see, 271 and 348, that's 7. So we'll go try to get a 3.5 millimeter, 3.2, 3. We'll figure out something here. How do we try that? I'm going to try these here first. I'll try putting a couple of these on, or at least one. That looks pretty good. I think that actually might work. There we go, there's that. All right. Put a glove on here. While I try to fill that up. See what we get here. We got a leak out the middle. Well, I'm guessing that's pressed on. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see here. Yeah, it's pressed on. Let's see. I don't want to grab the knurled edge. Well, maybe I'll have to. No, I don't want to. At least not with that. There we go. All right. Leave that like that. I'm going to push out this valve. And oh boy, look at that with my fingernail. Broke that off. Dry rotted. I don't even know what the size is. Let me figure. Let me see if I can get an idea on the size of that. 2.7. No. I'm going to look at my 8mm. That O-ring was 3.18 by 0.62. No. Let's try 2.5. That's 3. We got a 2.6 here. I'm going to try that. Sometimes it's a guessing game. Get close to the size and go from there. It's going to be pretty decent. Let's try that. And I'm going to get the spring out of there. Yeah, make sure everything's free in there. Looks to be. The thing we should be able to have to do now is just give that a little bit of a tap on the surface here. Drive it back. Now we'll see what we got. Yeah, we're good. We don't have a leak. We don't have a leak. That I know of. Alright. Let's see something here just a second. That thing set way too high. Maybe I'm about out of gas. Let's see here. Yeah. You know what that means. Well, what that means is I'm going to have to take that main valve out. Because we got a plugged up valve. Which, it's not surprising. 20, 30-year-old brand new lighter. Probably had some old butane sitting in there for finally leaked out and of course in the meantime it okay. Let's go ahead and push this out. There's that. And we'll take off this hose gently. There's that. Now I'm going to unscrew this here little screw here. And take that hose off from the top. I'm just going to take this. Alright. There's that. Where are the ports at? There they are. I'm not going to disassemble that tank from there. Got a little bit of a there we go. And there we go. Just like that. Probably won't get done on this here live video, but this looks like one of them two-stage lighters. Yeah, it's one of them two-stage lighters. It's got a turbo and it's got a regular soft flame. You got torch and a soft flame. Oh wow! Looky there. Can't believe it. I've never had a tank come out that easy like that on a plastic tank lighter. Isn't that sweet? Oh. Except the one part it isn't very sweet though. And that's this valve. See that top? It's got it's pressed in. Man, that's gonna be a nightmare. You know, so well, how come it's a nightmare? We'll try to, this is a little tube here with a hole in it. You're trying to pull something out. It's that's a weak spot. Oh wow. It'll be a good thing all these O-rings are bad. I'm not gonna do that, Doug. Let me think here. You know, I've done this before, but I don't like doing it. I just don't like doing it. Okay. I'm going to have to hold that open and grab it. I need to build myself a little tool for something like this. I really do. Show you something here. I need to grab that around that base there with some pliers, like these parallel jaw pliers. Hold that. Kind of like this. I grab it there, you know, except on the part that's inside. Then heat that a little bit. It's plugged up, so either way, if it can't get it out, it's just going to be plugged up. But then try to put something underneath of it on both sides and kind of pry up. It's just, so you guys, don't be, because there's a lot of this. These parts like this, if this lighter manufacturing company was still going, they wouldn't do this. They just throw this valve away and stick another one in there. They're not gonna, but you know, there ain't no parts. When there ain't no parts, you gotta fix what you got. And what we got here is a really, really tedious mess here. How am I gonna get a hold of that? I really don't know how I'm gonna do that. There's no way I could just pull it from there. I will break that off slicker than slick. I break that off, it would be a nightmare for me. I don't know if I got any valves in there. Well, you know, let's try this first. Usually them stoppers inside there are good. So I'm going to try to come from the back here and see if I can't get that. If I can't get that. Brass, I'm thinking that's just a brass, I don't think that's a brass rod, I just think it's a brass, kind of like a washer. Yeah, I think it's a brass washer. It has a sponge glued to one end of it. Very small sponge glued to one end of it. You say, well, why am I going to do that? Because if I can get that out, clean that sponge out, get some wire through there, you know, make sure that's not, well, actually, get the sponge, get that, and get the sponge out. Then I can open up this valve just enough to blow butane through this side, maybe clean out that valve. Because a lot of times, guys, these stoppers in here, the stoppers are usually the best thing out of the whole lighter. You say, well, why is that? Because it doesn't see any butane. There's a small little orifice on the bottom, and the stopper just like plugs the hole. So it doesn't see any degrading from not as much degrading. Let's put it that way. A lot of times, lighters. I try to do it like this to get it out. I'm going to just have to try to get it out that way because I can't take a chance. I don't want to have, you know, make it right for that guy. Granny's got a lighter that ain't working, but we don't want to make it worse than it already is. I got some alcohol in here sitting. I'm hoping that'll seep down around there and loosen that sponge up in that washer. There it is. It come out, and it wasn't it was a brass rod. Looky there. Well, we got it. Now, let me see what it looks like on the inside here. Yeah. Nasty sponge. Boy. Not a very thick one either. Look at that. Okay. Well, there's still more in there. Yeah. See if that's it. No, there's still something else in there. All right. Yeah, garbage. Yep. See that? The crud right there on my finger. That's the cause. Well, looks like almost like tar in there. Let's try some of these. I'll tell you what, Brett, you don't believe how handy these came in since you gave them to me. They really come handy. Get in places and clean it up. Look at that. Yeah, we might get this whole lighter done up on this live video. Looks like underneath there. Looks like I got the spring, or not the spring, but the, yeah, I got filter under there. Or not a filter, screen. Yeah. See? See that? I don't know if you can see it. Believe it or not, guys, that's a screen. Imagine that. I mean, it wouldn't take much to plug that up. Not at all. There's still some garbage in there. Yeah. Now, a little piece of cotton. Shove that down in there. Get a little cleaning going here. Well, that's pretty good. Shove the other end down in. See what we got here. Well, everything looks good. Now what we're going to do is doors. And I'm going to oh man, freaking somebody's at the door. Yeah, I gotta run a little wire through there. I ain't answering the door. It's late at night anyway. Well, let's try something else. I don't know if this is long enough or not. Nope. Now let me see if I can blow it out from the other direction. Don't know if I can. Yeah, we'll try it though. Yeah. Yeah, we got her. All right. Got her blowed out from the other direction. Cool. Now come my flashlight is all of a sudden. Well, anyway. There we go. Yeah. We got her blowed out. We got her blowed out, everybody. Cool. All right. Now, let's take this and give it a measurement. 2.47. I think these got some small. Where you at? There it is. Right there. That's what I'm going to use right there. It's got a hole in the middle. There's a lot, you know, guys, them sponges that's in there are prone to plug up. Sometimes I wonder if these lighter companies don't do that for a simple fact, because it's a guaranteed repair. I'll show you. Let me show you something here. They got a hole in it, okay? And what this does, this comes down on this here. When you screw in this, your flame adjustment, it pushes on this rod right here, little brass rod. And that squeezes against your sponge, like so. Even with that hole in the middle of it, you squeeze enough, it'll shut off the gas. But the deal is with these ones with a hole, as long as this brass rod moves in and out, even if this sponge gets plugged up, you're still going to get gas through that hole. And this here will determine the volume again. So it's not going to plug up completely. So it's the best thing going. All right, now let me see if I could use one of these to push in. Looks like I did. And it's down in there. And put that back down in there along with it. And now you see what we got. This is a whole valve assembly. So you screw that in. Really, these are simple mechanisms, guys, and these, when it comes to lighter repair, let me tell you something, simple is the best. To me, I think simple is always the best. It doesn't matter how fancy or creative you can get. If it's just got so many moving mechanisms in it that it just, you know, just makes things harder to work on and more apt to, you know, need service before it should. So what I need to do is now is clean, or put an O-ring here, 5mm O-ring. I can't even remember what size, well, it didn't matter. 5mm O-ring. I can do that with a, let's see, an 8. Let's just get one off of here. There's a 5.1. Yeah, that'll work. 0.1 by 0.8. That's what we got. So we're good. All right. Now, we'll screw that back into the tank. Looks good there. Yeah. All right. Now, where'd my other? Sometimes I'm. Yeah. I tell you. Sometimes there it is. Lay stuff aside and I can't remember where I put it. Nope. I'm gonna put that brass rod in there. Like it's still in there. Just make sure it didn't fall out. Nope, it's still in there. Okay. Now, where in the world did that come from? I'm probably gonna have to go back through this. I don't know where that came from. Well, I didn't put that there. So something didn't pop out of there while I was not paying attention. That's nice. That's nice. All right, let's get the rest of this put on here. All right, there's that. I know that was easier to put on with the. There's that. that. Now, find my screw. Oh, that. Get down over there. Okay. There's that. Now, where's my long brass at? Let me look here. That long brass little rod that I put right there. Yeah, no, it's not in there. I'm gonna start. Let me look here. Where'd you go? And that's one thing about there it is. If it doesn't walk off on you, it'll hide from you. Yeah, if it doesn't walk off, it will hide. There we go. Well, okay. Now, yeah, I'm gonna try to get that sprayed back where it belongs. Back a little bit. There we go. Now, there we go. Except the pin fell out. Now let me feed that back. Yeah. Couldn't you have known that was going to happen? Shouldn't I have known that was going to happen? I break that hose. Oh, yes. It couldn't have been easy. Good thing about it is I got more hose. I think. That's pretty small. Let me look. Well, yeah. Yeah. That's why I bought that hose. That's exactly why I bought that hose. Because stuff happens. It definitely happens to me. All right. Let's get that up in there. That's good. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. I think we're good to put everything back together. Don't know what the holdup is on getting this case on. There we go. Boy, I don't know how they make that stuff that tight. Yeah. flame. Off that one. That's the little flame. Ain't that cool? Now when you shut that, something's not going off. Okay. That could be what that's from. Well, I gotta take that apart. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to end this live video and figure out how that goes, and I'll do a live part 2. Anyway, all those sponges. Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions. Those sponges I got out of I got them off of eBay. Guy out of China. Lighter Parts Pro. I think it's not the guy I bought them from, but you could check him out. They're Vet Tech. Lighter Parts Pro. He's got different sizes. I got 2.5, 3, and 3.5. Something like that. 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Don't hurt to buy the 4s once in a while if you see them either. 4s come in handy. Anyway, I'll figure out where that goes. Let me just put this down and take this out again. Kind of like to do this tonight, but man, I gotta get up and work tomorrow. I'm gonna get up at 3 o'clock the freaking morning and go to work by 5, but I don't know. Had trouble with machines all day today. I don't think anybody's gonna be there that early to fix them, so this might wait. I don't know how that comes in. I mean, boy, they got that freaking thing. Whew. Man, they got that thing good. There is no slack in there. Well, I don't use nothing to pry on that either. No screwdriver, just my fingernails. There we go. Man. Whew. Huh. Wonder what's up. We're getting gas up through here, obviously. But We're getting spark up in there. Got a little leak right here. We have a little leak right there. I don't know if you guys seen that or not. Watch it right there at the top, right there by that plastic, white plastic. And we got a leak there. Just a minute. Cut a little bit of that hose off. Give me a second here. And that leaks where that valve goes. That whole freaking part's got a crack going down it. That's what happens when you use plastic. All else fails, I'll try some super glue around it. Sometimes that stuff will work pretty good. Oops. That's better. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of here and super glue that and figure out the rest of this mechanism there, so I can try to get both sides working. Don't normally work on torch lighters, guys. I'm just trying to do this person a favor, but don't know why that's not working, but we'll try to get it figured out. That's gonna go, that's gonna be it. But anyway, I'll figure it out.